hand something that could possibly save your life. Some of you may be able to guess what it is, but I'm not going to show you until I ask you a few questions. If someone was trying to break into your house and was threatening you with a weapon, would you hope to be able to defend yourself, or would you wait for the police to arrive? Let me ask you about your kids at school. Does it make you feel safer to have a great big sign above the door that says gun-free zone, or would you hope that there is someone there properly trained to protect your children in the face of danger? Let me ask you this, or let me tell you this. The national average emergency response time is 11 minutes. In some cities, such as Detroit, it is as high as 58 minutes. It took police officers 20 full minutes to respond to Sandy Hook Elementary. In that amount of time, the shooter was able to kill 20 children and 6 adult staff members. Is this a gamble you're willing to take with your children's life and your own life? So now I will show you what's in my hand. It is a bullet. And yes, I'm aware that this is a rifle bullet, but it makes a better visual than a handgun bullet. I am not only a firm believer in the right to bear arms, but I truly believe that having the proper knowledge to effectively know how to defend oneself is important. I have taken the appropriate steps to apply for and receive my concealed carry weapon. These days, it is becoming almost necessary for people to know how to defend oneself and to obtain the proper training to handle a weapon. The harsh reality is this: there will not always be somebody there to protect the innocent, as was the case with Sandy Hook. So I hope to convince you with stories and some statistics of the importance of being able to defend yourself. I will explain the process of acquiring your CWL and give you some sources for firearms training. So what is the big deal? Well, let me tell you about a situation where having the proper knowledge was a very big deal. This woman was home alone with her sister and a 9-month-old baby. Her husband was deployed to Iraq. They woke up one night to the crash of glass into their kitchen window. She grabbed her phone, she grabbed her gun, and she locked her sister and baby in the bathroom. As she stood outside the bathroom door, she dialed 911. The operator, or dispatcher, who could hear the broken glass breaking, told her to shoot at the men. She did not hit any of the men, but she was able to scare them off. Later, the men were caught down the road by police officers. This woman was able to protect herself and her family from being abducted by known gang members. She was extremely grateful to her husband for buying her a gun and giving her the proper training to know how to use it. She was quoted as saying, "It was definitely beneficial to have had a gun and need it than to not have had one at all." Still not convinced? Let's go over some staggering statistics. I have gathered some information from various sites that I think you will find interesting. I know that I did. The odds of falling victim to a violent crime are greater than 2 to 1. 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted in their lifetime. So keep in mind that less than 20% of women report rape. And it is oftentimes somebody that they know. Among homicides reported to the FBI, when the victim-offender relationship is known, between 73% and 78% of the time, the offender is somebody that the victim knew. My point with all of these statistics is not to scare you, but to let you know that crime is very real. So what are we going to do about it? The first thing that you want to do is to make the decision to defend yourself. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to decide on how you're going to accomplish that goal. My preferred defense is a firearm, Glock 19 9mm. I know that using a gun could sound really scary, but it doesn't have to be that way. The U.S. Department of Justice, by its own study, ranks using guns as the #1 self-defense, using guns for self-defense as the safest and most effective method of self-protection, including no resistance at all. This is completely contrary to many false claims that are being taught by women to women for self-defense. Some advocates for gun control want you to believe that you should not resist, that confrontation makes things worse, and that more oftentimes people are shot with their own guns. This is absolutely not true. The worst advice that you can take is that you do not need a gun for protection. Here are a few sites where you can get more information on firearms training and getting your concealed weapons license. The Well-Armed Woman, www.thewellarmedwoman.com, can help you find a place to get your concealed weapons license, or you can call your local police. Once you have taken the class, you can then apply for your license. This is what mine looks like. In Idaho, you would do that through the Idaho State Police. The website is www.isp.idaho.gov. The Idaho State Police website is also important. You're going to want to look on there, or I have some forms here. It's for the CWO reciprocity list, which is the states that are in compliance with Idaho's CWL. If you're from another state, but you live here and get your CWL, you will want to know this information. I have copies of these for you, and I'll pass them out afterwards. Being able to defend yourself is a benefit. There is no reason why someone should fall victim to a crime without a fight. I would think that everyone would want to be able to defend themselves and not have to rely on someone else. You know what to do, and you know where to get the information. It is really up to you to decide. Do not be the victim. Are there any questions? Okay, well, I would like to close with a quote by James Earl Jones that says, "The world is filled with violence. Because criminals carry guns, we decent law-abiding citizens should also have guns. Otherwise, they will win and the decent people will lose." I highly encourage you to take his advice. Thank you for your time.